Okay, so this is the Voyage report, and we want to enter in what trip it is. We'll say it's trip number 1. It's our first flight. All of these will be number 1 around here, down that column. And then let's say it was for 6.1.23. Pilot flying, let's say it's VR from KHPN to KPGA. And we flew taking off at 1200, landing at 1700. So our flight time 5.0. Fuel departed with, let's just say 16,000. And our fuel used was 11,000. It automatically will correct for the 5 here, giving us our fuel in. If we flew an instrument approach, we can fill in holding an instrument approach, and we'll say we flew 2,100 miles. On that flight, we had John Doe flying, and we had a Jane Doe flying. Also here, we can say for 6-1, if we had duty time, we can write in who it is, pilot 1. Same for pilot 2, if we need to fill it out. So we have a total of 5 hours and 1 landing. And let's say that now we flew back on 6-2, and ND flew from KPGA to KHPN, and that we flew from 800 to 1250, 4.5 hours. Totals to 9.5. We took off with 15,000, and we flew or landed with, let's say 10,000 for whatever reason. I'm gonna have to fix this guy here. He's missing his link, which I'll fix. I accidentally deleted him. That's one thing you want to be careful of when you're deleting, where these calculations are down this column, down this column. You don't delete. So typically you just write over these or as you go. And that we flew a distance of 2,100 miles back. So we have 4,200 miles. Let's say this is going to equal this minus this, 5,000. Okay, but on the way back, maybe we left Jane there and only brought John back. And below, what we have is a total of 9.5 hours and 2 landings, which comes from here and here, totaled down, added to our hours. So we have a final times and cycles. We would save this and move it into a cloud-based storage system so everyone can get to it, which I will create. If we have a discrepancy, we can write in a discrepancy here in a resolution. If it's in an MEL, we can select what category it is. When it's due, if it's placarded, and the tech can write his initials, and then here it can return to service. And if there was something else, such as a sensor change or something like that along the way, this can be signed off right in here. Lastly, after this is saved as Voyage Report 1, we can start Voyage Report 2, but we need to move the hours from the aircraft total up to the top line. So what we can do, if we notice it's 98.15.8, we can see that 98.15.8 here, we can copy this and move it up into this whole line here and paste it, but we get a value issue. But over here we can hit Control and select paste just the values. So it pastes in the values 9815.8. Now it's added the 9.5 to this, but what we will do is as we come up here and let's say we go back 6.3.23 back to HPN. We want to get rid of that and that and that and that and that. Get rid of these guys. Now we're going to fly back, but we're going to fly back empty. And we're only going to bring back Jane Doe. Or rather, maybe we're just going out there and we're going to take John Doe on her leg. So John Doe goes back out to meet Jane. We can change our 0603.23 pilot 1 if we want to keep track of that. If not, no big deal. And now we have 5 hours, and what it's done is it's gone ahead and put in 5 and 1 to give us a total of 9820.8, and this is our new time of trip number 2. So we change it to 2, and now we file save as Voyage Report 2, and it'll be saved. The captain can write their name here, and also if you do a VOR check, you can go ahead and keep this up to date once in a while just to check VORs. And that's about it. What I'll do is take this time when I see them saved and go into a file to save right in here, and I'll double check our times and keep track of those. So it will be a reassurance before I enter it into camp to keep track of the perfect timing so we don't find ourselves with any errors. And that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions.